December 7th, 1941. Dawn breaks over the island of Oahu. The water in Pearl Harbor is like glass. The mighty battleships of the Pacific Fleet sit motionless in their berths. Below decks, thousands of sailors are sleeping. In their hammocks, they dream of home, of their girlfriends, of Christmas, which is only a few weeks away. On the calendar, it is just another Sunday. The smell of fresh coffee and donuts drifts through the mess halls. There is no sense of doom, no warning sirens, just peace. But 200 miles to the north, a storm is raging. Hidden within the gray waves and dark clouds is the Kido Butai, the Imperial Japanese Navy's strike force. 6 massive aircraft carriers. On the flight decks, the scene is chaotic. Mechanics are frantically rolling torpedoes and bombs, loading them onto the Kate bombers and Val dive bombers. Sparks fly as engines are primed. In the ready rooms, pilots are tying on their hachimaki headbands. Their faces are solemn. They believe they are about to die for their emperor and destroy the American fleet. Admiral Nagamo stands on the bridge of the flagship Akagi. He scans the horizon with his binoculars. He is confident. He knows the Americans are sleeping. He expects total surprise. It is a clash of two worlds. The roaring engines of the Japanese war machine against the silent, unsuspecting paradise of Hawaii. But Nagumo is wrong. There is a third player in this game. Hovering silently just above the seabed is the USS Virginia, a ghost from the future. Her hull is coated in black anechoic tiles that absorb sound. She is nuclear-powered. Compared to the steel and rivet ships of 1941, she is a spaceship. Inside the sonar room, the silence is heavy. Modern sensor arrays listen to the ocean. They can hear the Japanese propellers churning the water from 50 miles away. The combat computer processes the sound. On the screen, red symbols appear. Classification, carrier group, 6 targets, dozens of escorts. The computer has already won the battle. The captain stands in the Combat Information Center. He knows what happened in the original timeline. The fire, the death, the Arizona. He is here to make sure it never happens. Oru 6 U hours, 1 hour before the scheduled attack. The captain presses the digital arm weapons button. The tactical screen turns from yellow to red. Underwater, the heavy hydraulic doors of the vertical launch system slide open. The ocean pressure equalizes. The submarine is ready to bite. Inside the tubes, the Tomahawk cruise missiles wake up. Their gyroscopes spin. Their internal maps align. Pressure builds. Launch. A burst of compressed air ejects the first missile. It breaches the surface, and its rocket motor ignites with a roar that defies the silence of 1941. Then another, and another. 12 missiles form a V formation low over the waves. They accelerate to subsonic speeds, leaving white smoke trails stretching to the horizon. On the deck of the Akagi, sailors stop their work. They point at the sky. Their mouths hang open. They have never seen anything move that fast without a propeller. Through binoculars, the lookouts scream warnings. But they are confused. It looks like a small plane without wings. It sounds like a demon. Impact. The first Tomahawk slams into the flight deck of the Akagi. The warhead detonates right amidst the fully fueled planes waiting to take off. The explosion is absolute. Aviation fuel barrels vaporize. Bombs daisy-chain. The flight deck becomes a river of fire. Sailors run for their lives. Seconds later, the carrier Kaga is hit. The missile strikes the bridge, shattering the glass and incinerating the command staff instantly. Chaos reigns. Within minutes, 3 of the 6 carriers are burning furiously. Thick columns of black smoke rise into the sky, visible for miles. The attack on Pearl Harbor is effectively canceled. Admiral Nagumo coughs in the smoke on the bridge. He grips the railing, terrified. He screams for a report, but no one knows what is happening. Where are the planes? The radio waves erupt in panic. We are under attack. No enemy aircraft sighted. They are fighting a ghost, an invisible enemy that strikes from nowhere. Deep below, the submarine is quiet. The captain sips his coffee. Phase 1 complete, he whispers, but he is not done yet. In the torpedo room, the autoloader slides a massive green Mark 48 torpedo into the tube. This is the heavy artillery, designed to break hulls. Tube 1, fire. A burst of high-pressure air sends the weapon into the black water. The propeller spins up to 60 knots. A thin guidance wire unspools behind it. The weapons officer guides it with a joystick, steering it toward the sonar signature of the battleships. The target is the battleship WWII. The computer locks onto the magnetic signature of its massive steel hull. The torpedo dives deep. It doesn't hit the side. It explodes directly underneath the keel. The shockwave lifts the 30,000-ton ship out of the water. Its back snaps instantly. The Japanese destroyers panic. They turn wildly, their rudders hard over, trying to dodge invisible attacks. But you cannot dodge what you cannot see. In desperation, they start rolling depth charges off the stern. Explosions rock the surface foam. They are blindly lashing out at the ocean. But the Virginia sits comfortably below the thermal layer. The depth charges explode harmlessly, hundreds of feet above. To the crew, it sounds like distant thunder. The helmsman steers gently. Rudder right 10 degrees. They glide through the water, untouched, circling the confused enemy like a shark. Another torpedo finds its mark. The carrier Hiryu takes a hit at the waterline. The explosion creates a geyser of water and steel. She begins to list heavily. The carrier Soryu is already gone. Her bow points straight up to the sky as she slides backward into the deep. Sailors jump into the oil-slicked water. High above, the Japanese Zero pilots look down in horror. They circle their dying fleet. There are no decks to land on. They are birds without a nest. One by one, their fuel runs dry. They ditch their planes into the ocean, climbing onto the wings, watching their empire sink. The ocean surface is a graveyard. Oil, debris, and lifeboats cover the water. The mightiest naval force in history has been dismantled in less than an hour. Inside the sub, a red light flashes. The weapons officer shakes his head. "Torpedo room empty, sir." They have fired everything they have. The captain looks at the sonar screen one last time. The red dots are fading. "We are done here," he says. "Take us out." In Tokyo, Admiral Yamamoto receives the urgent telegram. His teacup slips from his hand and shatters on the floor. The message is short and terrifying. Kido Butai destroyed. Fleet decimated by unknown superweapon. Yamamoto knows the war is lost before it began. The few surviving Japanese ships turn around. Broken, smoking, and defeated, they limp back into the fog. They will never threaten Hawaii again. Back at Pearl Harbor, it is noon. The sun is shining. On the deck of the Arizona, sailors are eating lunch and laughing. They have no idea they are alive because of a ghost. Newspapers the next day run confused headlines: "Mysterious explosions at sea." "Miracle saves Hawaii." The world will never know the truth. The map of the war changes. With its fleet intact, the U.S. Navy advances immediately. The war in the Pacific ends years earlier. Millions of lives are saved. And far below the waves, the USS Virginia turns her propeller slowly. She slips back into the dark abyss of the ocean. She was a guardian angel made of steel and stealth, a single vessel that stood against an empire and won. The captain makes his final log entry. History corrected. The mission is accomplished. What other historical disasters could be stopped by one modern machine? Tell us in the comments and subscribe for the next simulation.